There we go.
Take two. Hey, everybody. I'm Donnie Anderson, and I'm glad that you're here. Like I say, I've got my two co-hosts with me, Mr. Steve Fisher and Mr. Brian Lucia. We will be on here every Thursday night, or someone will be on Thursday night. So be sure to invite your guests and your team. We're glad you could join us tonight. We got some impressive information to share with our guests tonight. So just sit back and relax, get your tablets. You might want to take some notes. And without further ado, I'm going to bring up our first speaker. Uh, he's known throughout the networking industry as one of the top trainers and speakers there is. So help me welcome Mr. Brian Lucia. Hey, Brian.
Thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that intro. And hello, everybody. Hope you're warm wherever you are, especially you, Norman. Find a blanket. But we're so glad to bring this information to you tonight. And for those of you who are seeing this for the first or second time, whether live or recorded, congratulate you for taking the time. And it means a lot, obviously, to the person who invited you to take a look at this information. And I'll get right into why you're here. And we're really excited to share this with you. Donnie Anderson actually shared this with me, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as I go through the presentation. But you're going to hear tonight about a little patch. You might be able to see it here if you're looking at the camera on my hand. It's about the size of a quarter. Before we get rolling, I always want to make sure that we give a proper disclaimer in the sense that we are not saying that this patch is going to treat or cure any chronic sickness or diseases. LifeWave phototherapy is a patented patch that does not heal or cure people. God designed the human body to heal itself, given the proper conditions for the body to function at its optimal level. Obviously, anyone who might have sickness or disease or anything should certainly consult with their professional physicians, doctors for any advice on treatments. There's a business side of this that you'll get to hear a little bit about it at the end. And in that sense, there's no guarantees on financial gain or any income. Income testimonies are just about the people who've had success by sharing this incredible product. You can read the rest. I won't insult your intelligence. It's there on the bottom. And as far as the patch and what it does, you're going to also hear some testimonials from people tonight. But that's their own personal story. Remember that not all results are the same for all people. So, very excited to share with you the company LifeWave and the patch that is referred to and named the X39. And it all started with a gentleman named David Schmidt. He is the founder of our company. He's the inventor who created not just the X39, but many of or all of our other products. And the first thing you see there under his name in the bullets, that he has 200 plus patents to his name. It is almost impossible for somebody to get one patent. So you can tell that he is a very brilliant man. He's literally been an inventor since he was a child. And the way that LifeWave came about really started with he was commissioned by the U.S. Navy. He actually was working with them to find additional ways to increase the oxygen in submarines. And with knowing his brilliance, they asked him to create something to help the Navy SEALs as far as their energy when they went out on missions, sometimes 36, 48 hours at a time. They just really didn't want them using stimulants to keep their energy. And David invented what is the energy patch in our product line, and that was the first of the patches. It did not put any stimulants in the body. It uses the body's own polarity to create the energy. You'll learn more about that as we go, but it's pretty amazing how this is how it all started. And as the invention happened with the patch, word started to get out, and he looked at starting a company, and he talked to a friend about some investments, talked to another friend about investing, and that gentleman talked to a physician who said, gosh, David needs to talk to Richard Quick, who is the Stanford swim coach, also the U.S. Olympic swim coach at the time. And as the greatest form of advertising is word of mouth. And as the word got out, it spread very quickly to those who wanted optimal performance. Many athletes started using that energy patch. Richard Quick, the Stanford coach, once he met with David, put the patch on his swimmers, and 8 of his 10 swimmers had their personal bests as far as their record-setting best. in the first week that they were wearing this. So the patch worked. David then set his sights to the world of stem cell, and you see where it says he focused on age reversing, specializing there. David spent 10 years and $4.5 million researching how could he bring stem cell activation to the general public. Now, there you might be aware of people who've gone to foreign countries and paid, 10, 20, $25,000 to get stem cell injections. Those things were there. But David wanted the entire world to have something affordable to do that. And that's where his research took him to where he came up with our X39 patch. Now, this is patented. There's 70 patents on this patch alone. And you see over on the right side of the screen where the arrow is pointing, there's a little highlighted excerpt that we have on the left. And I'll read that to you. My favorite part here that says, as a result of elevating the copper peptides, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, which is huge, guys, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. So the first thing you want to check off when you're thinking about this is, okay, I'm here to learn tonight. And you learn that this is a patented technology that is not up for trial. It works. You don't get a patent if your product or whatever you're trying to get patent doesn't do what you're saying it will do, and certainly this does through the patent. And you can see all those if you want to. The world's taking notice. The Biotech 2025 Breakthrough Award was awarded to LifeWave literally just a couple months ago. And there were thousands of nominations from 15 different countries. And so, stem cell innovation, you see on the top right, is certainly a buzz around the world, and we have it to be affordable. Now, you probably think, okay, well, now what are stem cells? I will tell you that the day that I sat down and had a coffee with Donnie, I didn't know a whole lot about stem cells. I just thought professional athletes and wealthy people, went and got injections to fix things, right? I didn't know what all they did. Well, if you look on the left, stem cells are the master cells and the building blocks of our body. And over to the right, where you see there, being able to have rejuvenation by replenishing the cells, damaged tissues. When you read that, one thing I'll tell you that this is all about light therapy. And anyone who's ever known anything about wound healing, there's a lot of people who utilize red light therapy. Well, what David Schmidt's patch has done, oops, sorry, let me fix this. My screen is just, can't get my cursor to move. There it is. Nope, let me go back. Sorry about that, guys. I am having my pictures right in the way. There we go. Let me go back one more slide and we'll be all set. All right, so why X39 and the stem cell patch? You go back, there it is. Well, the thing that David knew was that when we turn 30 years old, 50% of our stem cells go inactive or are dormant. But look at the bottom bullet. At age 60, less than 10% of our stem cells are active. Guys, that means 90% of our stem cells are dormant by age 60. And so, this is probably the thing I want you to pick up on most is this slide right here, because when I sat down with Donnie, I knew enough about nutrition and things to be dangerous. And of course, Donnie's a very successful business person. When he came to me, I wanted to know about this business opportunity, something that was new, something that was innovative, never been done before. I loved all that. But here's the things I learned that day from Donnie. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Again, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Patented nanocrystal technologies, no drugs or chemicals or stimulants going into the body, right? This is, again, light therapy, photobiomodulation, where the patch utilizes the body's own light. So picture your favorite military movie where the guys flip down their night vision goggles, right? And they can see the perpetrator in the distance. That's because our bodies emit heat and light. And David created this patch to find the frequency of light to then recreate or regenerate the GHKCU copper peptides. All that means is that it's using the body's own cells, right? Reactivating those dormant cells. And then the last two bullets, non-transdermal, non-invasive. When I was sitting with Donnie, he showed me his patch and I said, "What is this putting in the body?" And he said, "It's not. It's light therapy." And he explained it. And I said, "So this is non-transdermal, no chemicals going in the body." He said, "Exactly." I said, "This is big." Because my thought was, from a business standpoint, if every time I shared this with somebody, they would have to wait to see if there was any kind of contraindications or interactions with their pharmaceuticals or even over-the-counter drugs they might be taking, then it would be a slow-moving process. But there are no contraindications with any kind of medications because this isn't putting anything into the body. It's activating the body's own cells. So that should be the biggest thing. I hope it is that connects with you tonight in regards to this, not to mention, all the things that it does for us. And here's what the X39 does from benefits. And I don't know why my camera keeps moving this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to put this up here. There we go. I'll have to do that. All right. So is the screen still sharing, Donnie? You can just nod your head if it is. Okay, good. Here's some of the benefits, guys. Increased strength, reduced inflammation. I highlighted that when I was reading the patent because understand, depending on how much you understand about the body and disease and everything else, almost everything that goes wrong with most people begins with inflammation, right? And so the fact that this reduces inflammation is huge. Increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity. You'll hear a lot of stories as you get involved of people who may have had things such as brain fog from COVID long haulers. Not to mention, we've got several stories of military veterans with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries that have more mental clarity now. Improved sleep, that's going to be more than likely the first thing that you're going to notice. I noticed that literally the first full day that I wore the patch. That first night, I slept better than I had in years. I was dreaming again. It's amazing. And then because of internally producing endogenously the collagen in our bodies, incredible improved skin care or skin appearance. I've got two ladies in my organization, both of whom have been accused by some of their friends of Botox or facelift, right? Because their skin looks so vibrant and great just from wearing this patch. And so it's not just for someone with illness or ailments that, are trying to feel better. It's for all of us who really are wanting to find the cheat code, right? For age reversing. It's one of my favorite things David Schmidt says there on the bottom right. He says it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So as you put this patch on your body, 4,000 genes get reset within the first couple of days, right? Within 3 weeks, that brain becomes balanced. I've got a very good friend of mine, played professional football for 11 years. First week he wore this, that's the first thing he noticed is he felt like his head just unlocked and had clarity again. The collagen will start to increase, and you'll see that through skin and hair and really strengthen your bones and joints. And then after 6 months, overall wellness. And so the benefits are immense with what this can help the body do, because again, God created our bodies to heal and repair themselves if given the right ability to do that. So, how do you wear the patch? I think, probably I tell my friends the reason this company is exploding is number one, the patch works. And number two, it's simple. You don't have to think, right? It's not like a vitamin where I have to tell you to do this one before a meal or this one after a meal or all the different stuff. You wear it 12 hours a day while you're awake. I say 12 hours a day. I've actually had a nurse one time say, "Well, I work the night shift." Okay, well, 12 hours while you're awake, right? So 12 hours on and 12 hours off while you're sleeping. And you see the two different diagrams or graphics there. The one on the left shows you like an inch, two fingers below the belly button is one place that most people will wear the patch, or back just where the little hump in your neck, where your neck meets your back. That's called the C7. And these two places are where you'll see most of our documentation and diagrams in our literature, because when David Schmidt did all of the clinical trials, both scientific and medical clinical trials and things for the patent, obviously when you do any kind of trials, you have to have, for data, you have to have consistency. And so those were the subjects or the patches. but many of us have been blessed to get to hear David Schmidt speak many a times. And when you hear him talk, he'll say, "Hey, just wear it wherever you want. If something's hurting, stick it on there, right?" So you can wear it anywhere on the body. This is just where you'll see most of our literature say so. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off. That's it. Brush your teeth, put on your patch, brush your teeth, take it off, right? Now, I mentioned earlier about all the different testimonies that are out here. This gentleman that you see on the screen, Dr. Leland Stillman, is out of Florida. He is not a member of the corporate staff or part of LifeWave at all. He is a brand partner, like many of us on the Zoom, like Donnie and I. And he had a friend tell him about the patch, just like we're telling you. And as he did his research and started utilizing it first on himself and his mother, now you see that he says that he puts the patch on every one of his patients. Matter of fact, Dr. Stillman's one of my favorite people to listen to. He's got a podcast that's great, brilliant man. And then Dr. Joseph Peck, this is a pretty astounding testimonial as well. He says, "I can say without a doubt the X39 stem cell reactivation patch is the most significant medical breakthrough in my lifetime." And I like this. "It would be criminal not to share this with your loved ones," meaning don't hold this to yourself, right? We love to just share with people when something works. And so we've got a couple of testimonials of our own tonight to be able to share with you what's been happening for them. First and foremost, I want to introduce Mr. Randy San Miguel. Randy lives here in Texas, and I'm looking for you, Randy. Let me get myself off the big screen, and then we'll bring you up. Randy, go ahead and start talking. I'll see you come full. There you are. I want to bring you full. Thanks for joining us
Okay.
tonight, Randy. Tell everybody about yourself and when you started wearing the patch and what you've experienced.
Alrighty, a little bit about me. I'm retired Air Force. I'm also retired civil service, serving my country for 43 years. I'm a big skeptic when I got introduced into this, but I felt like I'm falling apart, so I said, why not? I had to experience this for myself. I've had neck surgery. I've had surgery on both of my shoulders. I'm wearing prosthetics in both of my hips. And my knees, they tell me I am bone to bone. So I'm trying to avoid that with this X39. I feel the weather before the weatherman report comes out because I got arthritis throughout my body. We've had extreme weather this week, and I've had absolutely no arthritis pain anywhere. During my military service, I had a reputation of finding needles in a haystack. I augmented the Air Force Inspector General's office inspecting base programs. I lost that due to brain fog. 2 months of wearing the patch, my brain clarity is back, and I feel so much more so much more energy. The big thing that got me was I was been battling total cholesterol since the early 80s. My count was 2 to 300. My blood work came out just shy of wearing the patch for 3 months, and it was 98.
Wow.
That right there sold me. I says, lab results don't lie. I've had so many life-changing experiences to not share the X39 patch with family and friends, and I just can't wait to see what 6 months to a year does. There
Man,
you go.
that is incredible.
I started wearing the patch in August.
Well, congratulations, Randy, and I think I'll speak for all of us in saying thank you for 43 years of service as well, sir. Happy to hear all your results, and I too am looking forward to seeing your next 6 months. Thanks,
Me
buddy.
too.
All right. Next
Yeah.
up, I want to introduce you guys to Becky Bigby. Becky is she's one of those people who is just a champion in life and has been in the network marketing industry for a while, but she is kind of not by I say not by degree or anything, but I would call you one of my health and wellness experts of the world. She's an avid runner and has always been into taking good care of herself, and that's why she's 75 and she looks like she's 28. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Okay, hang on. We added
Becky,
15
thanks for
years.
joining
Yeah.
us. I just had to give you a hard time. I love to do that. Thank you. You just radiate when you come on, and I'm anxious for everybody to hear your story.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the opportunity. It's an honor to be here. Um, I love the patch because number one, I don't want anyone to be able to look at me and figure out my age. Of course, when you introduced it to me, I was like, okay, give it to me. Let me have it. And I was actually training for a half marathon when I first got on the patch. I not only did well in that half marathon, uh, but my recovery is just so much faster with the patch that most people. I don't recommend this for most people, but my best friend turned 60 the week of my half marathon. This was in 2024, and she all she wanted to do for her birthday was ski in Las Vegas. And so I I flew that Sunday evening after running a half marathon to Las Vegas and ran after running the half marathon and skied for 2 days after that, which I told her, you're crazy. I'm never going to be able to do that. And not only was I really not sore, but I wasn't even sore from the skiing as well. So to me, that was a huge selling point to me, to myself. Um, and then fast forward after I'd been on the patch for about 5 months, I actually got my liver enzymes checked and they were the best that they'd been. Like one of them was normal for the first time ever. I've always had issues with my liver enzymes. So that was exciting to me. And then in June, I went to the eye doctor and my prescription for my contacts. I've been wearing contacts since I was in sixth grade. So that's a really long time. And so to be able to go down 2 clicks, when I say I'm blind, I'm like Walmart doesn't even sell my prescription because it's that bad. And so that is a huge, that's not something that's data, right? To see that's fact based. That's not just me saying, oh, I feel better, which I do, by the way, but it's really fact based.
Yeah,
Um,
your blood work and your eyes don't lie, right?
Right, exactly. I am going to say, fast forward to this last December, I ran another half marathon. I run it almost every December, the Dallas Half Marathon. And I was actually 11th in my 60 and over age group. And I won two 5Ks in December and November trying to prepare for it. So to me, that says a lot. The fact that my times are similar to or less than actually my very first marathon, which I ran over 12 years ago. So I think a half marathon. I don't do marathons yet. So yet,
Well,
if
I
I
know it's
feel as good by the end of this year, I might be able to do it with the patch.
there you go. Well, thank you for sharing. That is awesome. Guys, you can see that it's not just one thing, right? There's so many things that the body can do, and it has the ability to heal itself. And I think something that uh, Randy said, and by the way, again, thank you, Randy. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your testimonial. Thank you, Becky. Guys, the testimonials that you see, I mentioned what I started to say was it's not like, okay, it's just for muscles, it's just for this. When you hear about someone's eyesight or their digestive tract or all the different things you're hearing. And if you want to see more testimonials, there's a landing page that the people who are running our team have put together. This is not a corporate site. We all have our own corporate website, but this is it info is a place that you can get some more information. And both on the computer version and the mobile version, there's a menu at the top, and when you click on that menu, you can see where it says patents and studies. You can, for that person who's, really into the analysis, they can go as deep as they want to go on all those patents. There's testimonials, there's videos. So this is a great place, kind of a one-stop shop if you want to know more information. Now, for me, when I was sitting down with Donnie, as soon as he said it was non-transdermal, there was nothing in the world like it. It's patented. We've got exclusivity in a product that's now in 80 countries. I said, I'm in, right? That's all I needed to know. I didn't go do a bunch of research. I figured I'll learn as I go. I want to start sharing this with people as quickly as possible. So, number one way to come in is just to become a customer. But number two is to be a preferred customer. And you can see that it's $149 for a 30-day, what we call a sleeve. Here's an example if you can see me on camera. It's like a little envelope, but we call it a sleeve. And a 30-day supply is $149. But I don't let my friends pay retail, although the value is there. I was talking to a friend today who said they just visited with someone who was spending literally hundreds and thousands of dollars on doctor visits and medications, and when they found out they could be a preferred customer and get this for $99 a month, they felt like they'd you know had the greatest thing happen. So, or if you want to do like Becky and Donnie and Randy and I, you can become a brand partner where not only you can benefit from, looking and feeling your best, but also share this. And I always tell people if you decide you want to be a brand partner, the first thing you want to do is just earn enough income to pay for your patches every month, right? And here's how you become a brand partner. There's 4 different what we call enrollment kits. I always kind of focus my friends to the advanced kit, the second from the left. Any one of them is fine for whatever somebody decides that they want to do. One of the reasons I emphasize the advanced kit to my friends is because by doing that, you unlock our whole compensation plan. But get with the person who invited you to watch this tonight, and they'll help you with what's best for you and what you want to do budget wise and getting started. I will now turn it over to my mentor and incredibly great friend, Donnie Anderson, who, Donnie, I'm grateful for you all the time. And I'm so glad you called me to share this with me. It's done so much for my wife and I and all the people in our circles that we've shared this with. And so thanks for thinking about me. And I'm anxious for everyone to get to hear from you tonight. Guys, Donnie Anderson has been successful in the traditional business world.
Well, first of all, I got to share, right? Yeah.
There we
Can you
go.
see? Oh,
You
you
got
got
it.
my desktop now?
Perfect. Just go full screen and you're set.
Are we full screen?
Yes, sir. Well done.
Okay. So here are the 5 things that I look at when I'm researching a company or a business to see if it's going to be good for me. And hopefully, if you're looking at this for the first time or the second time, this can help you make a decision. Number one, I wanted to know what is the market potential for this product or service that I'm looking at. Remember, it was brand new to me when I first started. So, and then the more research I did, I realized that anyone over 30, now anyone, regardless of age, can benefit from our phototherapy patch technology. Anyone. But it really comes into play age 30 and above because at age 30, 50% of your stem cells go dormant. So let's just use age 30 as a measuring stick. And there are over 225 million people in the United States age 30 and above. So we can start there. So that's to say that the market potential is mighty big, real big. Number two, who's the competition? I always look at that. Well, we don't have any competition. This is a patented technology, and it's the only one of its kind. There's no other patent like it, and uh, there is no competition. So it's the best of both worlds. Who is the person behind the product and the company? That's something I dig really deep into to find out. And the more I learned about David Schmidt, the founder and the owner, the more I realized that there was a genius at the helm of this company. I mean, literally a genius. Uh, the company is a 20-year-old, 20-plus-year-old company, so that's not in question. The product, you've got so many thousands and tens of thousands of testimonials like the 2 you heard tonight. So the person behind the company and the company, pretty darn strong. What kind of support system in place? Look, we've got the best support system on our team than any I have ever seen in corporate America or in any network marketing. Every tool that you're going to need to start and build your business is already developed. So the support system is perfect. Uh, will the product create residual income? Absolutely. once people start using this patch and they get the results and they're feeling great and their issues are resolved, they just keep buying them. And every month when they buy them, you get paid a little slice of that. So it really passed all of the five marks that I set for myself when I'm reviewing a company. But here's the real cool thing is I went through all of these areas right here, looking at the different areas and investigating. Here's what I uncovered. It's a 20-year-old company. It went from 20 million in 2020 to 600 million in 24. That's a 3,000% increase since 2018. Open in 80 countries. And the beautiful part about this is not a Me Too product. When I said there's no competition, I meant it. There is no competition to compete against what we've got. And most network marketing companies, they're all marketing and selling the same thing with just a little different brand on it. Not us. So these were the things that I uncovered that gave me the go ahead personally to jump right into this and get going with it. And that's what I did. So those are the things I wanted to share with you. If you're looking at this maybe for the first time, I hope this helps you make a real quick decision. And if you're already in the business and you're not really grinding, these are the things that should make you really grind. Well, that's the part I wanted to share with you. I want to bring up my compadre and great friend and business associate for the last 30 years, if you can believe that. And let him kind of give us some closing thoughts about what we got here. Mr. Steve Fisher.
Well, hey guys, I'm excited to be with you tonight, and everyone did a fantastic job. I really appreciated hearing those stories from Randy and Becky. Amazing stories, and Brian, you always do a great job. But appreciate you having me on tonight. I can't really add too much to what you guys have shared tonight. It truly is amazing, and I can tell you my perspective. And I have a similar story to Randy in the sense of I think I got him beat in skepticism. I was pretty skeptical when this was shared with me. So much so it was one of my buddies from Dallas was one of my workout partners in Dallas, and he shared with me in January of last year, and I stiff armed him for 11 months.
It was 2024, not last year.
Well, yeah, I know. That's right. That's another year. We're in another year now. Yeah. So in 2024, and so I stiff armed him for 11 months, and something I'm not proud of today. I wish I hadn't done that. But it had nothing to do with him. And really not so much to do with what you heard tonight. I didn't hear all that stuff, but it was more so about my situation. And like Donnie, I had made a lot of money in another company, and I also served on the corporate side of that company towards the end, and spent 3 years in the corporate offices. And when I got out of the corporate offices, my wife and I retired here to Tennessee, just south of Knoxville. We're on a golf course, on a lake looking at the Smoky Mountains, and I've been playing a lot of golf for the last 4 years. I wasn't interested in doing anything else, and to my friend's credit, he kept sharing information with me, and I would look at some of it and not look at some of it. But over time, I became intrigued by all those things that Donnie shared with you tonight. Those things caught my attention, and especially the founder of the company. Amazing stuff that Brian shared with you and Donnie. Um, and then you know my buddy one day sent me a video, and he said, "Dude, just watch my friend Danny McDaniel interviewing these three doctors and tell me what you think." And when I watched that video, it blew me away what these doctors were saying about this technology and how it works in your body to regenerate your stem cells. And I'll be totally honest with you, I didn't even know what stem cells were at that time. I had heard of them. just like everyone else, I knew that people were going and getting stem cell injections, right? I'd heard that. And I knew they were paying lots of money for those stem cell injections, but that's about where my knowledge stopped. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what their function was in the body or anything like that. And so, as I did a deep dive on this and learned all about what you heard tonight, um, I finally told my wife one day, I said, everything I'm learning, we need to get on this X39 patch because if it's regenerating your stem cells, that has to be an incredible thing for your body. And so we did that in November of, let me get this right. That was 2024, I guess, right?
Yeah.
November of 2024 now. And so I didn't really have any ailments that I could point to, but I can tell you the third day of wearing this patch, my energy levels went through the roof. The eighth day of wearing this patch, our sleep patterns changed in an incredible way. But what really blew us away and what really took my wife and I's belief level through the roof was we started sharing this technology with our friends and family and people and many there's quite a few of them on here tonight that we started sharing this patch with our friends and family, and my phone started ringing off the hook, and I started getting calls about every other day from people on our team, and they would always start the same way. They would say, "Steve, you're not going to believe what happened," and they would start sharing their X39 story with me, and I would relay these to Diane, like, "You're not going to believe who called today and what happened," and I could share 1,000 stories with you tonight, literally. Obviously, we don't have time for that, but that's what blew us away, and it has been amazing to be able to share a technology like this with people that you love, as Brian talked about early on in the presentation, like sharing this with the people that you love, and it's something that makes their life better. Um, and I literally have some very successful people on my team that have said to me, Steve, I would do this for free.
Mhm.
Because that's how good it feels when you're sharing something with someone that can literally change their lives and make a huge difference in the quality of their life. Um, that's and we get paid to do that as well. That's kind of crazy, right? So we've really enjoyed it, and I would just encourage you to get back with the person that invited you on tonight and say, "Hey, I'm ready to get started," and tell them what makes the most sense to you. Guys, we're not here to make you do something that you don't want to do. All right. If being a customer makes the most sense to you and that's where you want to start, great. Be a preferred customer like Brian talked about. It's free, right? If you are, like us and you want to create a secondary income by just sharing this information with others, then find out how you can become a brand partner. And we would love to welcome you to the team and can't wait to hear your X39 story. So, guys, thanks for being on tonight. I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Donnie Anderson.
Thanks, Steve. That is so cool. We appreciate that. Everybody did an excellent job tonight, and I want to thank everybody for jumping on with us. Please spread the word for next week, and let's do it again next Thursday.